How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Reptile Talk, the channel where we talk about reptiles. On today's agenda, we're going to be talking about the top 5 most common mistakes reptile keepers make. So, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Number 1 on the list is overdoing it. Now, of course, you don't want to underdo it, but what do I mean by overdoing it? In the last video, I did a species presentation about Tylotornis kietlandi, the forest vine snake, and I overdid it. And unfortunately, it cost the snake's life, which still doesn't sit very well with me. So what happened is after I did that video, I fed it, and I fed it a prey item which was a little bit too big. And I'll spare you the details, but a couple of days later, she unfortunately turned and she was about to lay eggs for me, so that really hurt me. So that's one way you could overdo it. Another way you could overdo it is, for example, too much hardscape, too many rocks, too many branches. Snake gets caught in there and strangles itself. If you're working with turtles or tortoises, too many rocks and they push it over. A lot of things could go wrong. So we often want to give our animals the best life that we possibly can. And in doing that, we overdo it. So we really have to think about, okay, maybe let's go a little bit further back into moderation. Number 2 on the list, not respecting biosecurity. Unfortunately, animals do get sick just as we do. And how do viruses and bacteria spread? Through contact. Now, if you're touching one animal that's sick and then you touch another animal that's sick without disinfecting your hands or cleaning them properly, you've just infected another animal. Same goes for water bowls. When you have bigger collections, you're probably cleaning water bowls in the same sink. I generally just disinfect my water bowls every week. I disinfect my tools every week. Sorry, not every week. After every use, the tools and the water bowls is once a week. I do it all together and I make sure that there is the least amount of contact possible. Number 3 on the list, not being prepared. Now, you could really be underprepared. Impulse buying an animal, you don't have an enclosure, you don't have a water bowl, you have no idea of how you're going to set things up. That is really an extreme level of being underprepared. You should avoid that. Get yourself some books, or nowadays I like to say that we're in the era of information. Just a quick Google search, ChatGPT will tell you about enclosure sizes and humidity and temperatures. All of that is accessible like this for most animals that we need, or for most animals that we keep. Also, one very important thing is knowing where you're going to get your food items from. What food do your animals eat? You should know all of that. That's another level of being underprepared. And then there is also not having backups. So heat lights burn out. I always have spare heat lights, not sponsored by any brands whatsoever. If any of your cool brands are out there and want to help me make my animals' lives better, please hit me up. That would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, having spare lights, whether it be LEDs, whether it be heat lights, spare water bowls. I just stock up on everything whenever I'm somewhere. I just grab things. Oh, I don't have, or I'm starting to run out of logs. Let me get some extra logs, or, heat lights are slowly running out. Let me get some extra heat lights. I have extra cable, um, sockets, and all of that. I do much of my cabling myself. So my stock is a bit bigger and I incrementally buy, not everything at once because this stuff is expensive. Number 4 is water management. You can overwater and you can underwater, both of which can have catastrophic effects on whatever it is you're keeping. Desert animals, a bit too much water because you might have some plants in there, a bit too much watering, and you've got a respiratory infection. Actually, that also works inversely. Like a rainforest animal, not enough humidity is going to get respiratory issues, and who knows what other issues may come along with it. So water management is really, really important whenever you're doing anything with water in your enclosure. Be present, okay? Rather do incrementally. You can always add. Reducing is a bit harder. Like if you overwater an enclosure, you're gonna need to get rid of all the substrate or take the animal out and open your enclosure, let everything dry out. I like using these little bottles, which I forgot the name of, to incrementally water or spot water plants in dry enclosures. You can also use a spray bottle, which mine unfortunately broke on me. But yeah, water management incrementally. Less, I don't want to say less is better than too much, but it's always easier to add than to reduce. Number 5 on the list is not giving the best life to your animals that you possibly could. These guys didn't decide to be in captivity. They didn't decide to be born in captivity. I have rescue animals which are handicapped for life, like a spitting cobra that was bitten by a dog. She did not decide to be bitten by a dog, and now 2/3 of her body don't work. She can't be released. What I can do is give her the best possible life that I can in a controlled environment, feed her regularly, access to clean water. Since she can't move properly, there's a fine balance of not doing too much, but also not doing too little. Like moderate hardscape, things she won't get stuck under. And yeah, you just apply this to your situation. Every situation is different. Give your animals the best life that you possibly can. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.